Hey guys, it's Danielle with Danielle Gets It Done, and this is my positive ADHD update.
Gonna love you, honey, on and on and on. I'm a morning dove singing out a song.
If you are unfamiliar with our story, my son is 6 and he has been diagnosed with ADHD, sensory processing disorder, and anxiety. And I have a whole playlist if you want kind of our historical experience. But our preschool years were extremely difficult. There were a lot of tears. We were kicked out of, I think, 3 preschools/daycares. I felt so lost. I felt so scared, and it was just a really extremely difficult time. And I've shared a lot about that on my channel, but recently things have been pretty good and we had some good recent meetings, and so I wanted to share that as well. I think if we focus too much on the hardships and the negatives, that's kind of all we look for, and I think it's really equally and maybe even more important to focus on and celebrate the small wins. My son started kindergarten this year, and so he's kind of wrapping up his first year in kindergarten. We are at a public school, and it has been a really positive, amazing experience for our family. It started out a little rocky, which we were expecting. It's a huge change. He's getting used to a whole new routine and a new set of teachers and adults, and those teachers and adults are learning James and his personality and how to best deal with him. So there were definitely some rocky situations at the beginning, some phone calls and extra conferences, and again, we were expecting that. But we recently had an IEP meeting, which stands for Independent Education Plan. So he is in special ed and he has this plan, and he has special accommodations to help him be successful in the classroom, and he is also taken out a few times each day to get help from a special ed teacher and to learn and gain new skills and to get some sensory breaks. And we have meetings with his team once or twice a year, and we recently had one of these meetings, and so it was with his teacher, a couple people from the special ed department, a occupational therapist, and one other person. I can't remember what his title was. And we just meet once or twice a year to both connect and to see how things are going and if James is meeting his objections and if any changes to the plan are warranted. So we sat down and we started going through each category, and he has just been doing really well. Like, they were just only saying great things. He really has not had many meltdowns lately, if at all. They're super rare. If he does get frustrated, he kind of knows just to go off by himself and to calm down in appropriate ways and to rejoin the group. He is doing really well in his special ed learning. They do group learning and individual lessons with him to learn to kind of improve his social skills. He has a lot of friends. He's doing well in that aspect, which is something we're always a little nervous about. He's learning well academically. He really is loving math, and so that's something that he likes to focus on. And it just was so positive and so good, and everyone was like beaming, talking about him and talking about how thrilled they were with his improvement and his progress. And we both kept waiting, my husband and I kept waiting for them to be like, okay, so these are the negative things that have been happening and this is what we need to work on, because that's what always happens in these meetings. And it never came. It was just 100% a really positive meeting. And I was just so proud, first and foremost, of James, because he's been working really hard, and I was just thrilled that he's been able to be successful. And then also, no shame, I really patted myself on the back, and I'm super proud of myself because I worked really hard to advocate to get him special help. It was a huge time commitment, a lot of meetings, a lot of money, a lot of heartache, a lot of forms. It was a lot to advocate to get him into these special programs and special therapies. And it's just nice to hear that the fruits of my labor are starting to bloom. And so I just wanted to share a positive update because, again, I think sometimes we tend to focus on the hardships. And I think with ADHD and sensory processing disorder, it's oftentimes 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And I think it's important to celebrate those small steps forward. And I don't think my son is cured. He still has these issues. He will for life. And there are still challenges. As I'm filming this right now, we have a newborn in our family, and that change has actually been much more challenging for James than we had anticipated. So we're kind of in a 1 step back as I'm filming this, and I'm sure I will share that when kind of the dust has settled and we kind of figured out what's going on and what worked best to get through and navigate that situation. But it was just nice to have a positive meeting with teachers and adults who care for him and who are cheering him on. And it's just nice that we can all work together to help him succeed. So I hope that this might be encouraging to at least one person, and leave a comment below if you can relate or if you have a similar story. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and whatever your plans are, I hope you get them done. Bye, guys.
Ooh.